Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're talking about the fact that the ratings finally went over a million in the WNBA playoffs without Caitlin Clark. First time in 21 years. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. We just went over 5,000 recently, and we're going for 10,000, so we need a lot of help, including you. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Rob, so the ratings are up in the finals. It's higher than last year. Last year's finals were around 729,000 in game one. This year is 1.14 million. It has actually gone up every year. It did a nosedive in 2019. That was the lowest at only 238,000 for game one. And it's gone up every year since then, Rob, since 2019. So in this particular time, this is the first time since game two of 2003 that the playoffs ratings were over a million. That was in game two of the 2003 series. They got 1.28 million. So it's still lower than that, but it's the highest in 21 years in the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. Anyways,
Yeah,
notice they asked without Caitlin Clark.
yeah, I
But
know.
it's the highest in the finals because Caitlin Clark hasn't made the finals yet. So
And they're also tuning like how they keep on going back to how high it's been. They keep tuning how high the attendance and how high the ratings were this year, all time high. But of course they leave out the main point, Caitlin Clark. Is the reason why, So
right. We did a video which showed that Caitlin Clark contributed to 50 to 60% of the new fans, just her alone, just the home games in Indiana Fever and the away games. And how much of it she also influenced by generating more interest in the league is unclear. All it is speculation at that point. But it wasn't growing at the extent that it jumped over the last year. So obviously some of it was because of overflow from Caitlin Clark that she generated. The question is how much of this right now in the playoffs is also overflow from Caitlin Clark also. Because you can't say it's the stars in the league because like before when the Aces played the Liberty, they had Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Askew, and then they had four Olympians, including the MVP Asia Wilson, and they never got over a million in the semifinals. And
right,
then in the Lynx Sun series, even though they had the most very likable Nafisa Collier, that series was like at 400,000 until there was a deciding game five, and they finally got up to 900,000. So if Nafisa Collier was a big draw, it would have been more than that. It was half as
Liberty.
much as the Liberty Aces series. So
Mhm.
she's not a big draw either. None of them are a big draw, Rob. Otherwise,
Right,
they would have shown that in the other rounds. So,
right.
but it's good for they finally got over 1.1 million. I got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. And even in attendance, I think it's averaging around like 8,000, not over 10,000. But they're also the ticket prices are lower, so that kind of makes it easier. And then being in New York, of course, they have Spike Lee and they have these other people showing up there, so I guess that's kind of attracting people like they always. But still, the game itself is not going to draw people, or the players themselves are, without Caitlin Clark, are not going to draw. Are not really the draw for the WNBA.
No, but the league is getting more popular, and we'll see if it continues next year. And we'll see what the ratings are for games. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be 5 games or not, but we'll see what the ratings are for right now. And also, if you watch, I watched part of the game. I watched like at middle of the fourth quarter in the overtime. And Nafisa Collier, she's a really good defender, and she gave Brandon Stewart fits. And it's really unclear to me if it's really Aja Wilson is really the best player in the league. I'm not saying she's not, but it's not so clear that it should have been unanimous automatically, especially since from week one. In the second half of the season, Nafisa Collier played really well, and Brandon Stewart, also played well, other than her choking. And she's still a great player. She just choked. If you saw the game, she missed a free throw to
Yeah,
win the game.
yeah,
She
to win
made
the
the
game.
first free throw. So I mean, I don't like to give people a hard time because they made one free throw out of two. It's not 100% thing. But then she missed a layup, and she wasn't fouled in the layup, and that was to win the game, or I guess it would tie the game.
Yeah,
In the
or
second
try to get it
overtime.
overtime. Yeah,
would have put it a second overtime if she had made a layup, and she didn't even hit the rim on the layup.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I don't know what superstar they have in this league, because that's not sign of a superstar choking twice.
Well, they're clearly the two best teams. I saw part of the games too, and just the running of the offense and the defense. They clearly are compared to. I mean, the Fever should be watching this. This is where the level they have to reach in order for them to make
Right.
any dent in the playoffs. And now that the games are extended to 7, who knows if they ever get there, what the ratings will be.
Well, that'll be next year. But yes,
Right.
I watched when the first thing I noticed, Rob, was the movement of both teams, especially the New York team. There was even more movement than the Lynx team, and I thought the Lynx team was well coached. But the movement on their offense was way more than what you see from the Fever.
Oh yeah,
It just goes to show that Christy Sides has to go. I know this is not part of the video because this had to do with TV ratings, but that was my observation from the game.
yeah.
I'll see if I watch any more. This league's such a turnoff to me. The only players that are likable are like Nafisa Collier and players like Enrique and stuff like that, Agumike. Other than that, most of the players aren't very likable, aren't very exciting.
Yeah, Collier, she's really, like I said, if they were doing the MVP vote for the second half, she after the Olympics, even in the Olympics, she was doing well, and then so she's
Yeah.
really come on. She's really come on, as I think. I mean, to be unanimous MVP, she should have got at least a couple of first place votes.
Well, I don't know if I can make that argument. Either a person deserves it or they don't. Like you could say, well, maybe there's some doubt in it, and maybe they should have got some votes. But if one person is better, then doesn't mean they should get any votes. Just because it's not a great distance between the two doesn't mean it shouldn't be unanimous. But I don't know. I didn't watch them play enough during the regular season to say whether or not this was the wrong vote. But I'll say Nafisa Collier's certainly showing people that she's right up there, along with Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson, is the best player in the league.
Like we said, looks like the vote was already made up, probably even before the second half, that she was going to be unanimous.
Right. Well, people said that something about, what if they did the vote afterwards? Well, the MVP vote is based upon only on the regular season. That's how it is in all the sports that I know of, all the leagues that I'm familiar with, anyways.
Right.
So we'll find out what happens. But anyways, Rob, are you going to watch any of the remaining games?
No, not really. I'm just gonna be highlights or whatever. I'm not. I can't watch it. I really cannot watch. Not because of Caitlin Clark, whatever. She's exciting, but I just can't. I can't. I mean, and like I said, these both teams. I mean, from what I saw, the highlights, like you said, the movement and the defense and everything. It's really. I mean, it's a good battle. I think it's gonna go down to 5 games. I picked the Liberty, 5 games, but It's just hard to watch. It's always hard to watch.
Too many missed shots and bad play, Rob.
Yeah, despite the skill by both teams, they have skill.
Despite the fact that they keep telling us these are the best 144 players in the world, and that these are all great athletes, and I'm not convinced of that, and I don't think anybody else is either.
Yeah, if that's the best, I'm like, wow, well, that's pretty sad.
But I am curious to see how high the ratings go, especially if it goes to Game 5. So I will say that will be interesting. But that's the first game in the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. But Caitlin Clark's both games that she played, which were in the opening round, were way more than the 1.14 million.
Right.
So even her second game was more than twice as much as that. So I wouldn't cheer too much if I was the WNBA, but I'd be happy if I was them that they finally got over 1 million, even though it was only a few more viewers than before. It was 980,000 or 978,000 for the last game. So that's really not that many more views. And it's the finals. Right. It's really not a big deal. It just sounds like a lot more because
I know. So
not really that much more. This is the finals, and it only went up a little.
Right.
So it's still not a big accomplishment in my mind. But
I agree.
Ratings are up from last year. I guess that's the important thing. The question in my mind is, how much of it was because of Caitlin Clark, and how much of it was growing anyways? And I don't know. It's impossible to measure. But
there's another Clark effect there. Different Clark effect.
I think so. I just can't tell you how much. Anyways, let us know what you think, and let us know what you think of the video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next videos. And if you want, you can join us for our live show every Monday, except for major holidays, from 6 to 8 Eastern time. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.